have to multiply 3a square b with minus 5a b cube. If I have to multiply this term with this term, 3a square b is to be multiplying with this minus 5a b cube. So with the same understanding, we can see that this means what? This means a multiplying with b, and this is now multiplying with this minus 5, and this is then another a, and then this is a b cube, which means b multiplied by b multiplied by b. So these terms are being multiplied amongst themselves. So now we can see with the same understanding that I can just rearrange this expression, and I can just combine all the a's together. So this means what? A multiplying with another a, and this can multiply with this a as well, because all these terms are simply multiplying amongst themselves, and it doesn't matter. Let's say for example someone gives me this term, 2 multiplying by 3 multiplying by 5 multiplying by 7 multiplying by, let's say, 9. So it is totally up to me that if I first solve this 2 multiplied, if I just first solve this 2 multiplied with this 5, or if I combine this 2 and 3 first and multiply this 5 and 7, and after that I multiply these two together. So I can actually multiply in any order in which I want to, because we know that these are actually numbers only, but written in the form of a variable at this moment. So this a over here, this a over here actually makes this a square. When this term is multiplying with this term, so a square is multiplying with this a actually. So we can simply, so we don't have to actually write it in this manner. It's just for your explanation that we should be knowing that what is happening inside. So this a square, when this term is multiplying with this one, we know that this a square is multiplying with this a. So this gives me ultimately a to the power of 2 plus 1, which is a cube. This 3 is multiplying with this minus 5, which gives me minus 15. And this b over here with this b cube, so it is b to the power of 1 plus 3. So my final expression would be minus 15, a cube and b to the power 4. This would be my final simplified version of the multiplication of these two terms. So this is the most basic example where we are multiplying simple two monomials, which is the basic task. So now let's move one step ahead. Let's say we have to multiply this term. This 3a is to be multiplied with a square plus 5a plus 2. So this 3a is to be multiplied with this polynomial now. So this monomial is to be multiplied with this polynomial now. So without actually creating any confusion in your mind, just think of the basic distributive property which we have done for so many times from so many years in addition. So it is exactly the same sense, it is nothing different. Just because we have written this term in the form of a variable, it doesn't changes anything. So I'll just try to actually show you this thing as well. Let's say 2 multiplies with 5 minus 3. If 2 is to be multiplied with 5 minus 3, I can actually first solve 5 minus 3 and then multiply this with this number 2. Or if I first multiply this 2, so I know that this would give me 2 multiplied by 5 minus 2 multiplied by 3, which is actually 10 minus 6, which is 4, which is the same answer actually. So what we have done at this moment, we have used the distributive property of multiplication and addition, which actually gives us that a multiplied by b plus c is the same as a multiplied by b plus a multiplied by c. So we are going to use this distributive property in almost every question from now onwards, and it is a very basic structure now. So when I have to multiply this term with this entire expression, I'll just take this term and multiply this term with each of them individually. So this would give me 3a multiplied by a square, which makes it 3a cube, plus 3a multiplied with this 5a, it gives me 15, a multiplied with a, which leaves me with a square, and then this 3a multiplying with this 2, which gives me 2 multiplied by 3 is 6, so it makes it a 6a over here. This would be my final answer of this expression. So this sense is to be used. So in a way, first we have understood that how to multiply two monomials, and then we have entered into the arena of multiplying a monomial with a polynomial. So we are going to now solve questions based upon this logic. I'm directly going to give you questions based upon this sense, which is very simple, but just read this very carefully and directly apply this understanding in the next question. So it was a straightforward example. This 2x square was multiplying with this expression. So we know that we simply have to take this 2x square and multiply with each term in this bracket. So this 2x square will first multiply with this x square. It would give me 2 times of x square multiplied by x square, which is x to the power 4. And then this 2x square is multiplying with this minus 5x. So 2 multiplied by minus 5 gives me minus 10. And this x square multiplying with this x gives me x cube. 2x square multiplying with this 3 gives me 6x square. This is my final answer. So it was a very straightforward question, just for your basic understanding, basic practice. Now solve the next one. So this was the term. Now we can see that we have two expressions. So the step 1 was to actually simplify them individually. So if I just multiply this 2x with this x minus 5, it gives me 2x square minus 10x. 2x multiplied with this minus 5 gives me minus 10x. Now comes the second term, which gives me 2x multiplied with this 2x, which gives me 2x square plus x. So now we can see that we are in a situation where this question has converted into a question of simple addition subtraction of polynomials. So over here we are having a 2x square and a 2x square over there plus 2x square, which gives me 4x square, and minus 10x plus x, which gives me minus 9x. So this is my final answer. So minus 10x, so 10x, 10x with a minus 10 and x with a simple 1 over there. So minus 10 plus 1 gives me minus 9. So it would be minus 9x. This is my final answer. So in today's class, we have just started with this complete theory, complete understanding, and in today's class, we have understood the most basic part, that is addition, subtraction, and we have just started with the multiplication part. In the next class, we are going to dive further into the multiplication logic and solve many more questions based upon the same sense. So just revise everything that we have done in today's class, and let's meet now in the next class. Take care. Bye. All the best.